Hi, my name is Lieutenant Gary Aswalt, and welcome to a tour of the only map with daily polls about whether or not it should be kicked out of Ranked, Bagra Fortress. Welcome to the Bagra Fortress Museum and Historic Site. Explore our vast collection of artifacts from the Middle Ages and the Ottoman Empire. Well, hey, wait, oh, no, I'm not just reading this. Despite being named Bagra, Fortress takes place in Al-Mazrah and is set in the middle of an old military fortress now turned into a museum. Something that many battlefields tend to do once the blood has been dried and the deceased are mostly in the ground. Despite the map's many historical attractions, it's actually best known for simply having one of the worst spawn traps in Call of Duty history, with one spawn only having two very easily watched exits. So word to the wise, if you ever join a game in progress and hear nothing but the echo of a VTOL and generalized depression over voice chat, the kill feed looks something like this, and you spawn in front of this medieval soldier retreating from battle, you might just want to do the same. If I could just make one small suggestion though to maybe fix the spawn trap, could we bring the overhead back up again? Thanks. Just do this. Like, the area already exists on the big map. But just for the sake of this tour, let's say you initially drop on the other side of the map. Wow, you have your whole life ahead of you. But where will you go? Well, there's the south side lane, which is mostly an open highway going straight to the map's center. If you sprint fast enough, you might just be able to get down it before a Mountie on the bench or truck takes you out. Or on the north side, there's the much more inviting Gallows, with two different pathways to choose from that both lead to the same place, being killed by someone who took the other pathway. But let's face it, we all know where you want to go. It's straight down the middle through the main building. Being one of only two interiors, the main building is the battle cry and bloodshed hub, made up of winding hallways and corners tighter than my Tight 5 stand-up routine full of jokes where I add the word white before every joke about women because everyone knows you can't be sexist and racist at the same time. The middle of the building is this big open bowl kind of thing that has overhangs all around it looking down, providing a fish in a barrel type experience for anyone who actually goes up there. They even have jail cells down here, just like the ones that they threw me in after I accidentally said something positive about this game in a public place. Turns out that's illegal. Upstairs is where the fun really begins. This whole stretch of skid and splinter is Fortress's best power position. It has three windows that face out to the rest of the map, giving whatever creepy neighbor type who sits inside a direct line of sight to the entirety of the map's middle section below, a little place we like to call the stables. If the building is where the fun begins, the stables is where the fun continues to begin. Get ready to play Ring Around the Rosie around this expertly parked box truck, or shoot at this blacksmith when you undoubtedly think he's an enemy at first glance, or you can lie prone in these hay bales to go all Assassin's Creed and disappear. So remember earlier when I mentioned that it's hard to get out of spawn traps here because there's only two narrow ways out of spawn? Well, April Fools! There's also a two-story building which connects straight back to the spawn, making for easy access. This area is meant to be a mirror of those other power positions back in the main building, so you'll usually find someone up here trying desperately to get a few kills on the people down below. But chances are that if you're victim to one of their dastardly deeds, by the time that you make it back up there for a revenge kill, they've actually already been put in their place by the guy up in the main windows, because they actually have cover. So that's Fortress. Does it have some problems? Sure. A few weird quirks? Absolutely. But does Fortress make up for it with a good mix of close and mid-range combat, interesting aesthetics, and solid flanking routes? Well, I'd tell you, but I don't want to end up back in jail. And that's where I'll end today's tour. Thank you so much for watching. Did you know that we have memberships now? Well, you do now. If you want to help support the channel, consider becoming a member to get a nice little badge in the comments and other cool perks like early videos. And if you enjoyed this accurate tour, check out the last one we did on Himmelmatt Expo. And everyone else can exit through the gift shop, where we're selling this one-of-a-kind art piece that we somehow ordered two of.